and welcome back to the auditorium of x-dream.events. My name is Joanna and I will host this session together with my colleagues Victor and Alzek, who are in our control room right now, and I will join them in a few minutes. So in the next few minutes, we will show you the different features of Multicam Studio, a software for live video production. And we are using Multicam Studio right now for the production of our online IBC. So Victor will give you some insights live from our control room in a few minutes. But before we start with the demo, I would like to give you a very quick overview of the Multicam product line. So the Multicam all-in-one solutions are developed for TV broadcasting, for visual radio, for live meetings and conferences, also for educational purposes like lecture capture, and also for video trainings. So, for example, here the system allows users to capture several video sources from different angles to realistically train students. The so-called interactive solutions let you engage with your audience and also with your remote guests if you're hosting a virtual event, for example, like we are doing right now. So with AirBridge, your remote guests can join your show with just a few clicks. It's super simple and easy. And in order to make video productions more flexible and creative, Multicam has developed the so-called Spirit line, which is a complete range of robotic systems that streamline your operations. So yeah, that was just a very, very quick overview. And in our session today, we want to talk about Multicam Studio, which is part of the all-in-one solutions and which we are using right now. So I will make my way over now to our control room and I'll be back with you, Victor and Alzek, in just a few seconds. Okay. So I am in our control room right now. Hello, Victor.
Hello, Joanna.
I will close the door.
Yeah,
I think.
Very good idea.
Yes. Cool. So yeah, Victor will give you an overview now of Multicam Studio, and I would say, Victor, let's start right now and just tell me, what can we see on the screen here? Okay,
so as you see, that's here is the Multicam remote control touchscreen, sorry, and which means that it's sensible for touching, but you can also operate it with a standard mouse because there's nothing else, just a normal computer, which is then optimized for this usage. And we have, let's say, three sections. One section is the sources here, the other section is the remote of the sources, and the third one is the extensions, let's say, so graphic and co.
Okay, thank you very much. So maybe let's start with the different sources. Can you tell me what different sources or inputs are available here? What can we see here?
Right. So in the unit is available in two setups. One is let's say IP only setup, which mainly means web streams or streams and NDI. And the other box have SDI as well. We have the SDI unit here, but we're not using SDI anymore. We're mainly using for the cameras a streaming output of the cameras, and for any other source we are using NDI. And that's what you can see here. So for example, this camera was originally your camera at the studio, and you see that is an RTSP and on a low delay mode, which is very important, I must say, for live operation. And other sources like this one here is a simple NDI source. We have multiple of them. So for example, if I want to see the output of our demo, one of our demo machine which have an camera input through SDI, by the way, because that was, then I can switch onto that stream. So this is a stream that you might familiar with, because that is coming from the studio camera SDI output. It goes into one of our machine, and then it makes from SDI to NDI, and then it's available all around. But I could name any other examples. So for example, one of our multi-viewer output can be seen here, and then this is our multi-viewer output, which goes back to our remote guest. But about that, let's talk later. Okay. Now I switch back to our guest input.
Yeah, thank you. So let's stay maybe with this input for a little longer. So I can see that this frame is yellow now. So I suppose these are probably different presets. So maybe you can explain a bit more about that. What can I do with this input now? What are my options?
And you guess it very, very well, because what we see here is a camera what was in the studio, and now we can look around with the camera. If I put the pilot mode, or I use this little joystick here on my right, then you can see that now moving around, and now it's changing the position. So if I want to show it in big, then I can show the picture in big, and I can check if it's pretty much what it is. So as you see, this is our office. Half of it is for meetings, but the other half is now our setup with the X table, because the legs are X, right? And of course, once I love a scene, then I can store it. So I show it here. I can store it here, because I think this must be recalled later, or of course I can call up any other preset that I previously did.
Okay, sounds pretty simple. I like it that it's all touch. Maybe let's move down here to the cam settings.
Right.
What is available here? White balance, focus, exposure. Maybe you can tell us more about this section.
Right. So this is very normal racking functions, or coloring functions of comes from as any other cameras. Of course, we don't have dedicated CCUs for this camera. We are not on this league, but still we can do, I don't know, little things like manual white balance, or we can make a white balance in a traditional way, like finding something which is then white. I prefer the push buttons, because then I'm better. Yes. Then I make it totally blurred, right? Like this one. Then I make a one push white balance check, and then as you see, it called up the white balance function of the camera itself. Now it's ready, and then if we go and open up again, then you can see that you are more or less white. So that's one. The focus then, that was already explained, and then we have an exposure, which is then allows me to adjust the shutter, adjust the iris, and add a bit of gain if it's needed. And I have many other things where I can really go deep in the cameras, and it can it can talk to most of the cameras that is outside, and it can talk to them via IP protocol or RS. And I would say that the Visca and protocols are all of these PTZ protocols are there. It have a long list of what you can configure. Unfortunately, I cannot show it because then there's the setting menu is outside of this surface, which means that I need to go out from this, and then we need to stop our recording.
I see.
So I switch this back to our internal camera. You can do it on air, and then we can, and then our viewers can see us in the studio. That we are not faking the demo, but we are really here.
So yeah, I could see that it's super easy to change the different inputs. It's super quick and easy. You already showed me how to check the quality of the different inputs, so yeah, we could do that right here. And I can also check the quality of my output, correct?
Right,
probably
so
somewhere on the
it also have
side. Okay. Cool. So is there also the possibility for things like lower thirds, for example? Because unfortunately not the whole world knows your name, so
that's
where
true.
Can we do that?
Not yet, let's say. So what we're using here is the this section. The first tab is the text, and within the text we can do nice things like, for example, I take the theme and I take your name on, and I usually forget this to take it off, therefore it's automatic. So whenever I'm in here and I go there, I can select the name. So for example, I'm also here, I can put my name on, and then it comes up, and then it counts down, in this case 5 seconds, and then it goes off. And then I usually, after that, I just put on a ticker, and then it looks like almost professional, right? And yes, the viewing point is from up to down. That means that you can see only the first one. So for example, it's very useful when we are at the end of the show and we don't want anything should be seen on the screen. Then I put simply the strongest graphic on top, and I can untake them all if I want.
Oh, thank you. And what about DVE? I suppose there's a possibility for DVE, like for example, you know, like talking heads or over the shoulder scenarios.
Okay, so we can do talking heads, or we can do like here, which means that would place, yeah. Then now I can make a nice effect, and we can explain what is happening, right? So, dear viewers, recently we are explaining DVEs, yeah. Any other thing?
Yeah, and
you want to explain?
What? Yeah. So what if I want to show graphics and DVDs at the same time?
Oh please, come on. Of course it's possible. For that we have a scenery. So for example, this one, we don't use it too much because we are slow. But anyway, it's possible. So for example, in this case, there's this, our two guests are talking, let's say here. Two guests are talking. Sorry, I need to change one of the guests to guest 2, but in a moment I will do it. So two of our guests are talking, and then there is the graphic underneath, and then that was just one take. Yeah, I always can edit a little bit. So for or either the graphic, or I can edit the DV as well, and the scene as well. So we still stay on air, as you say, but we can make a new scenery. So I add a new scene. Okay, this scene will be try in Hungarian, sorry, 2 bad habits, right? and then we said, well, maybe this should be a logo should be seen, and our presentation DV, right? So we made this scene. We think we are satisfied with it. So then I say we now have 2 scene, and if I select the scene, then we will immediately see that one which was already which we did last time, but in 2 steps. So now it's 1. And I'm not saying that it's very common that we making new scenes, graphics, or DVs during on air, but it happens sometimes.
Okay.
Especially at the beginning when we started this series.
Okay, so definitely very, very handy feature to have. Let's stay with these symbols for a second. So what else is there? What about this like satellite symbol AB, and I suppose this is maybe for the computer input, the last one?
So we have 5 inputs, as you see here. Yeah. But we also have a 6th input, let's say, which is a computer input. In this case, it can be any NDI source. So in this case, this is a webcam coming from one of our other equipment and showing our team working here in this session. So yeah, Johanna Alzeg and me myself, and. If you want, you can put your, for example, with an NDI screen capture, you can put your PowerPoint here, and then it's not that much as an input. It's a bit separated, but in practical that's the same like our NDI input on the top row.
Yeah.
So I put that on air right now as any other source, and I can form a DVE from that. So for example, a GUI explanation where I make for example, yeah, we are explaining the GUI here, like this one. It's a bit stupid, but I think you got the point. So that's our 6th input. And then these 3, well, we can do very nice transitions in between sources. So for example, this one, and then really you can poison your eyes with anything what you want. I think it's always switched off, but yeah, you can also put a video in between those. We never used it, honestly. The satellite, I think the satellites in the ancient 20th century was used to transmit signals, and because this unit can make a streaming on its own, therefore, like you see it here. Hoppa. Sorry, you can't see it because first I need to switch that. Yeah, so you can start to define a stream to wherever you want.
Okay.
It's pretty much easy. We don't do it because we have for this we have the Libero player, just simply because then we can synchronize it with the other clips in the playlist. And yeah, last but not least, if we want to close the show, which we don't want yet, then we can use this one, and this leads us to a topic maybe how we handle audio, but simply like that. Yeah, I can start a clip, and then these clips are played. I can even start a clip together with, so I have bins of clips, and I can even start a clip together with a DVE, so synchronized start and so on, and it have 3 different audio mode. Either I have audio next to our audio, like now, and then you can hear it, but also you can hear us, or you can have no audio at all, or you can have this switching audio, which means that I have this audio system here, I'm not sure if you wanted to ask it.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that.
Oh, really?
I was just about to say. So I think I'm good for now with the video side now. So let's move on to the audio. So thank you very much for showing this.
So we have the audio here, and then on this audio panel, you can see that we are using a Dante system for the microphones and for the talkback and everything. We have a redundant system which is kept off, and I think it will stay off, but because that's an analog system and we haven't used it for the last year. And we have the media list, and once you start the play, then the media list is in play. Right, and then once you finish with the media list, then we are switching back to Dante. Why are we doing that? Because we usually have clips as open and close, and we don't want the audience here when we congratulate to each other after the very successful show that we have.
Yeah, I see. Okay, so that's why the media list needs a separate track.
Well, yes, but it's not necessarily have to be like that. There is a mode when you can switch off any other input once the media list is in play. You can keep them parallel if you want.
Okay. All right. So let's assume that our recording is finished now. What can I do with it? What is the next step? How can I publish it? Where can I move it?
Yeah, the system have a feature called Publisher, and then we have after finishing the recording, we are publishing the clips. As you see, we have all the clips that we have recorded today, and our workflow is very simple. Once we stop record button, we need to rename the file, and then it is copied. So it's also kept. Our copy is kept on the local drive, but it also copied through the network, and then we have immediately into places. Right.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think this was quite a lot about the video and audio settings. Maybe I think we're good for now about these things.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks so much. So let's move to the last part of our demo. How do we connect with our remote guests during our virtual events?
Pretty nice thing, because until now our guests were just bars. So what we have here is the that's the audio console application, but we have here another one which is called the average. I switch it, then you can see. So that was the console. Very nice DAW, cost nothing, still does the job. I think I'm a bit too high. Yeah, I'll make myself a little bit. Sorry, I'll make myself a little bit lower. Yeah, here the gain was too much. Oh, yeah, now it's fine. Anyway, I close it, and then So we have one of our colleagues already here, and we connect to her as collecting her as a guest. So now we're connecting her, and then you can talk to Marina. Hello, Marina.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you very well. Thanks for connecting with us.
Great. What can I do for you?
Nothing much. We'll do all the work for you.
Great. Okay.
So we will guide you through to the studio after we check that your name and your email address is fine, and then your location is Munich, so we know that you are you. And now we put you to the studio. So once she's in the studio, we have two modes, and these two modes called the control room and the studio itself. Why it's useful? Because sometimes we have guests who is not yet on air, and then we still want to talk to them. So in this case, I select the channel which I want to put in. This is here Marina. And I pick her up in here, and she's now there, and she can now hear us.
But she's not on air yet.
Yeah, she can now hear us through commando or intercom, and we can talk to her through this loudspeaker, and we are not bothering the on air. But then I can make some adjustments, because I think her picture will be better if we go closer a little bit. And now we put her on air. So now, as you see, that she's on the system, and also as one input, and then she's also there, and then we can adjust her her volume, and we can also adjust what she should hear from us. We can mute her, or we can solo her, and all the other guests here are listening to her like a minus mix, which means that I don't have to take care about this whole mixing here, because the system does it automatically. Why it's nice? Because at the end we only have 4 pairs coming out from this machine, and we have 2 going in, and I don't need to mix for every of my guests separately. They could hear each other, but they won't hear themselves back. That's pretty nice. So hello, so Marina, thanks for your cooperation.
You're welcome.
Oh, you're welcome. Marina, sorry, I forgot to switch you on.
I said you're welcome.
Good. No, I think we hear her, but we don't hear her here in the studio, because then it comes the feedback. Yeah, because we have a monitor here, but now we can hear. Yeah. Okay, everything fine. Good. Very nice.
Cool.
So that was it so far, I think.
Yeah. I think this is a good point to end, actually. Thank you so much, Victor. Thank you so much, Alzek and Marina, for hosting this session together with me. If you want to know more about Multicam, feel free to reach out at any time. We're happy to answer your questions. You can also join the coffee bar right now. And we hope you enjoyed this little insight into our live production. And stay tuned. We will be back in a few minutes with the next session. So thank you so much, and bye for now.
Should I start the closer?
Yeah, Victor, that would be great. So we will be playing the closer now.